Well, good evening, guys, and welcome to Wealth and Wisdom. I am your host, Bree Smith. I am a licensed insurance broker, a financial literacy educator, author, speaker, and I'm also the founder and CEO of Bree Smith Financial Group. We are a financial services company whose mission is to educate clients on various financial strategies, products, and services that can help them to improve their overall financial well-being. Tonight, I have a juicy topic for you all. We are going to be talking about how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. I know for most of us, this has been the problem that has plagued us our entire life. And tonight, we are finally going to crack the code on how we can break out of this cycle and begin to move on and begin to build wealth for ourselves and for our families and for our children's children if we desire to do so. So I'm very excited about tonight's topic. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. All right. So first and foremost, what does it mean to live paycheck to paycheck? Well, it means you're using up all your paycheck or all your funds that you get when you get paid until the next one arrives, right? And this pretty much leaves us with no room for people to have surprise expenses such as like emergencies that may crop up, right? Or even paying important expenses such as your health insurance or car insurance, etc., right? It makes it harder for people to even want to even save for long-term goals such as retirement or paying off debt or even wanting to buy their own home, right? And there are other numerous reasons for this, and we will take a look at those a little bit later. But first, I want us to look at the number of Americans who are definitely suffering from this dilemma. So statistics show us, and this is based upon a report done by CNBC, right? 63% of Americans are currently living paycheck to paycheck. And half of those Americans include six-figure earners. You know, it was once thought that if you were making six figures or above, you were doing all right, but it's further than the truth. Anyone can be affected by this dilemma. So why do people live paycheck to paycheck? So outside of inflation, right, people live paycheck to paycheck for numerous reasons. First and foremost, a lot of people don't have a budget or a spending plan in place. They are literally spending all of their money and they don't know where it's going, right? Number two, if you don't have a budget, 9 times out of 10, that means they're living above their means because they can't track where the money is actually going, right? Number three, they probably don't even have savings at all. Or if they do have savings, they're putting their money in the bank, which is only generating for them pennies back in interest. And y'all all know it's the truth, because if you either get interest monthly, quarterly, or yearly, you be like, man, well, I only made 2 cents. That's because the bank is literally taking your money and they're investing it, and they're making all this money off your money, and they're only giving you pennies back to your money that you've actually invested. Crazy. So instead of people actually investing their money into income producing assets, which we're really going to get into later on in this topic, they put it in the bank, which is a big no. Fourthly, they don't have an emergency plan in place for things that may come up, which means they are relying more on credit cards and loans, which puts them into further debt and causes them to have more bills to pay. And we all know that. And last but not least, right, when it comes to debt, they're only paying the bare minimum on their debt. Thus, they're constantly earning interest, which is digging them further into debt. And it's like a never-ending cycle that they cannot get out. But today, I want to talk to you guys about the solution. And I have coined this solution the BSI method. And some people are going to be like, Brie, really? The BSI method? Really? But hear me out before you try to jump off of this live. Okay? B stands for budget. S stands for save. And I stands for investing. And you remember when I was talking about those income producing assets? That's what you're going to be investing in. All right. We're not going to just be investing generally, like just throwing all our money into the stock market, right? Just throwing it into stuff. No, we're investing our money into income producing assets. All right. So first thing is first, we have to create a monthly budget. And in order to do that, you need to know how much you are getting paid and how frequently you're getting paid. So are you getting paid on a weekly basis? Are you getting paid on a bi-weekly basis? Are you getting paid on a monthly basis? Right? And then you need to be able to track all those expenses. I suggest writing all your expenses down. That means you probably need to look at your bank statements and see exactly what's coming out each month. And then you need to put all that down in some type of spreadsheet or on a piece of paper. Once you got all that written down, you need to add up all your expenses, and then you need to subtract your expenses from the amount of money you get paid each month. All right. And then based upon how much you have left, I need you to do one or two things. The first thing is, if you actually do have extra money left over, you can choose to allocate that money to other accounts you have listed on your budget, such as like overpaying your bills. So that means you're never behind in your bills. That means you always have extra money. So if the bill goes up that month or another month, hey, you have extra money in there. That's a smart way of doing that, okay? Another thing is you can actually put extra money towards your savings. So that means that, and this is not your long-term savings, this is just your emergency fund and your short-term savings, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But you're actually putting money in your savings account. So you're actually growing your money. And last but not least, right, you are paying off debt with this money. You can pay off debt. So that means you're not just paying the minimum amount. You're going above and beyond to get out of debt faster. Now, the second thing is, now, if you have no money left over, okay, don't get mad at yourself or upset with yourself. You just need to figure out where in your expenses you can cut certain things. So if that means, and let's be real, because we all do this, you'd be like, you might have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Pandora, whatever. If you can cut those things out, those monthly subscriptions out, if you can even get rid of cable, come on, y'all. We all, at this point, everybody should be live streaming anyways with like Fire Stick or Google Chrome or whatever. Right? Roku. So at this point in time, really nobody should have cable. You should be cutting that off and limiting your expenses, your living expenses, right? So that you can begin to save more money. Even if you have a gym membership that you don't use. Now, for the people that go to the gym, don't be sitting there like, Brie, I go to the gym. If you go to the gym, boo, keep going to the gym. We ain't telling you to not go to the gym. We talking about the people who don't go to the gym, but they try to flex like they go to the gym. And they don't go to the gym and they just waste the money. Like, stop wasting your money. If you know you have stuff within there that you are not using, cut it off so that you can begin to produce more money. And here's why. All right. So the next thing is you need to begin to save. All right. So the first thing we need to do is be paying ourselves first. Not our bills. The first thing everybody wants to do is pay their bills. So what does that mean? That leaves us with a little bit of money, if anything at all, to pay ourselves. But if we ever expect to get out of this paycheck to paycheck cycle, we are going to have to save money. And this should be anywhere between 1 to 10% of our income. Most people, I mean, if you're a Christian, you know that you tithe 10% of your income anyway. And so if you can afford another 10% and that's just your savings, then do that. If you cannot, then that's okay. You start with a place that is comfortable for you. So let's say, for example, you make $3,200 a month. 10% of $3,200 is $320. Now, some people might say, Bree, that is way too expensive. And that's okay. Like I said before, just adjust it based off the percentage you can actually afford to do. Thus, if that means you can only save 5% of $3,200, that's equivalent to $160, then you need to do that. And then from there, you need to split up that money into the different savings categories that you have set up within your budget. Okay, which leads me to the next two things. 2 types of savings accounts that should only be in your bank. Only these. Your emergency fund, which should only consist of 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, and your short-term savings goals. So this means for those little fancy trips you want to go out of town with your homegirls with, yeah, those vacation trips or trips you want to go with your man, yeah, that needs to be in your short-term saving plan. If you desire to do little special things, or you want to buy electronics or whatever it is, you got hobbies and stuff, that needs to be in your short-term savings plan. This is the type of stuff that you save for, and that's the only thing that needs to be in the bank. Other than that, when it comes to long-term savings for items such as retirement or building wealth or buying a home, no. We're not going to put our money in the bank, because you're not going to grow your money that way. You're not. Sorry. It's just not going to happen. Okay. So what should we be using, Bree, to grow our money? Well, that's a good thing. I'm going to teach you a little bit about this in this slide, which tells you the 3 ways that money grows. So money grows 3 ways. All right. Money grows fixed, money grows variable, and money grows index. So your fixed accounts are what we just talked about, like your bank accounts, your checking accounts, your saving accounts, CDs, money market, all that. Generally, fixed accounts are safe because they're backed by the FDIC. And the FDIC is just nothing but insurance. Okay. So, and what happens is the bank, what they do is they take the money that you put in the bank and they invest it into an insurance policy that is growing exponentially. And they're taking that interest that they're making off that policy, and they're only giving you back 0 to 1%. So you're only making pennies. That's why, like I said before, when you look at if you check, because either you get paid interest on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, or a yearly basis, and you'll be like, man, I only made 2 cents. I only made 6 cents. Because the bank then took your money. That's why you're not making a lot of money. But it is safe because it's backed by the FDIC. And I'm telling you, if you ain't got insurance, you better get some insurance, because when stuff happens and stuff starts to hit the fan, at least your money will be safe and protected. That's what happened to a lot of people. Well, I'm going to say not a lot of people, but the people that were smart during the Great Depression, they had insurance policies. That's why they were unaffected. I'm just telling y'all, y'all better know, y'all better get it together. So the next thing is, the way money grows is through variable accounts. Now, your variable accounts are TSP accounts, 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin. Now, this grows your money exponentially. But the only con to that is you could lose all or a portion of your money because you're investing it directly into the market. Now, there are other ways that you can invest in generally a little bit more safer, but through all of it, it's still risk, right? You're still taking a risk. All right. Now, your variable accounts, you can use variable accounts. We suggest that you do use variable accounts, okay, based upon how much you can afford to invest in them, okay, to actually grow your money for wealth and for retirement, okay? And then last but not least, indexed. Money grows indexed. And what does that look like? That's fixed index annuities and index universal life policies. Well, aka insurance. Okay, it's safe because it's insurance. It's not even taxable. Okay, it's not even taxable. The government can't even touch your money because you have an insurance policy. See, a lot of people didn't know that. And then another thing, let's look at the cons. The only thing, the downside to this is it is capped at 9%. So let's say the market performs well at 20%. You're only going to make 9% interest. All right. But if the market performs at 8%, you're going to get your full 8%. And if the market performs like it did back in 2008, where it was at negative 38%, 0 is your hero, which means it's nothing but a floor, baby. So that means that when the market bounces back, your money grows. It is not dropping like it would if it's in a regular 401k. And I suggest if anybody has a 401k, or IRA, TSP, all that, you need to be looking at your account because you have lost thousands upon thousands of dollars. Your investment is not where it was. And so we honestly suggest that you look and think about rolling your money over, especially if you have a 401k or 403b or something like that, into an annuity to actually protect your money from that. All right. Now, I want to talk about this, all right, which is the I. This is the income producing assets. You want to invest in income producing assets, all right? Income producing assets such as what? Dividend stocks. These are stocks that actually pay you out money. And I love it. I remember when I was heavy into Robinhood, I was I was investing my money like crazy in dividend stock. Like if it wasn't a dividend stock, I was not investing because I wanted to ensure that I was constantly making money on a monthly basis, right? Monthly, quarterly, yearly basis. Another thing is bonds. Bonds are a really good way to make money, guys. Everybody talks about real estate. You know, a lot of people are doing Airbnbs and rental properties and things like that, right? But you know, there's risk in that, and then you know the time thing. So it may take you a little time to get a tenant or to get things set up and things like that, right? With that. But I'm not saying that people shouldn't have real estate. I believe that everybody should be landowners, and I believe we should all have a piece of that pie. Also, too, car sharing. So a new thing that's out is people renting out their personal vehicles. So if you have an extra vehicle that's just lying around, don't let it ride around. Go ahead and rent that sucker out like on Turo and begin to make you some money. You know what I mean? And then another thing, and normally I know people like, Bree, cars are not an asset. You're right, unless it's making you money. And if you're using it for Turo or you're using it to rent it out to someone who needs a car or vehicle for however long, then it is producing you income. And then my favorite, the thing that I'm doing currently, guys, and this is what we're getting ready to go deeper into, okay, is the compound interest investments. This right here is what's going to set you and your family up for life. Do you hear me? I pray that nobody jumped off this live as we were doing it, because this right here is the key. It's going to unlock a lot of things. All right. All right. So first and foremost, let's define what compound interest is. So compound interest is also known as interest on interest. So it's when you earn interest on both the money you saved and the interest you earn. So how it works is compound interest occurs at a greater rate for more frequent compounding, which is why the more times you compound, the higher your compound interest will be. Okay. So there are several different types of compound interest. The first is called daily compound interest. And you guessed it, it compounds daily. The next is called weekly compound interest that compounds weekly. The next after that is monthly compound interest, which actually compounds monthly. The fourth is quarterly compound interest, which actually compounds quarterly. And last but not least, you have annual compound interest, which is interest that is compounded yearly. So most of us see the annual compound interest, right, from our bank, or even possibly quarterly compound interest. But a lot of people are not really familiar with daily or weekly compound interest. And that is what we're getting ready to talk about tonight. So I pray that you are sitting here. I pray that you've got a notepad, and I pray you got your calculator with you, because we about to do some calculations. All right. All right. So for our first example, all right, I want us to take a look at weekly compound interest. And we're going to look at if a starting balance is at $1,000, okay, we're going to look at this at 3% weekly for 12 months. And I'm only showing you things that I actually do, like stuff that I can actually back. I'm not going to show you stuff that's fake, that's like, oh, girl, she in a gimmick. No. I'm not. I'm a woman of God. I ain't going to do that to you. I ain't going to do that to my business. I ain't going to do that to my integrity. So I'm really showing you stuff that is legit, okay? All right, so anyway, like I said, you have $1,000. You invest it at 3% weekly for 12 months. All right. So let's say you start this month. You start this month at $1,000. And I'm so sorry, guys, you cannot see that screen because it's very little. All right. So January is month 0. So this is $1,000. But let's say February 1st, you if you see right there in your earnings, which I'm sorry, because I know it is little, but you see right there in your earnings, you made $130. Okay. So that means you accumulated $1,130. Okay. Let's say in March, you made $148.90. So now altogether you accumulated $1,276.90. Now, let's go all the way down to 12 months. Now you can see in the 12th month, you made $4,334.52. Just in 12 months alone. Man, like, I mean, I wish, you know what I mean? So you have right here, I want us to look at this on a weekly. Okay, I want us to actually look at this on not a weekly, on a yearly basis. I'm so sorry, y'all. Look at this on a yearly basis. All right. So as you can see, because we already talked about it, we have made in 1 year $4,334.92. Right? Which is still a beautiful thing. But something I want you to look at. If you kind of go down, and I know you really can't see it, but if you look at year 5, from your $1,000 investment, you made $1.5 million. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't look at all the numbers, but I know that's 1.5. So you made $1.5 million. Now in year 10, all right, I want you to look at that. You have accumulated 2.5, or is it 2.3? I'm sorry, I can't even see. I think it's $2.3 billion just in 10 years. And then year 15, you're at trillionaire status. And this is actually based upon if you do not touch your money. I get it, because at some point in time, people are going to keep touching their money. And of course, your numbers are not going to look that way. But if you were not to touch your money for at least 10 years, you would be a billionaire. Ain't that fascinating? Just not to touch my money at all. And I just let it grow, and I let it grow, and I let it grow, and I let it accumulate. You would never have to worry about money again. But so that's just based off of weekly compound interest. Now we're going to look at daily compound interest. And daily compound interest is like the love of our life. So if weekly compound interest is like our homeboy or our homegirl, daily compound interest is like the love of your life. Okay. I'm just trying to put a little humor in this, but no, seriously. Okay. Because you're making money daily. All right. And then when I start to show you these numbers of what you're going to make daily, you're going to be like, Lord, is this real? And I'm going to say, yes, it is. All right. So P stands for our initial investment. R equals interest rate percentage. T is equal to time. So based upon the company that we're using, all right, they got 60, 91 days, and 152 days, okay? And then A equals the amount of money you make per day, and then the dollar sign equals the actual profit. Now, P times R equals the amount of money per day. A is the amount of money per day times time, right? And that's going to be the actual profit that you're going to make from your investment. And then P is the initial investment, because you get that back, plus the actual profit of your investment, which equals your total amount of money that you earn, okay? So let's take an example. Let's look at one example. And this is a true example, because this is what I'm doing currently, because I had to make sure, guys, that this was a real legit site before I decided to put this out here. But this is a legit site. And so the numbers that we're getting ready to go over is a possibility. Like I said, if you stick with the plan, if you decide at any point in time that you like, man, I'm about to start pulling my money out, then that's on you. But we are, like I said, this is just I'm just helping you to see that this can be a realistic reality for you. All right. So let's look at this first example. You have $200. That's your initial investment. All right. Times your interest rate of 2.5%. That means you're making $5 per day. Now, you take that amount invested, which is the $5 per day, and you multiply that by the number of days, which is 60 days, all right, which is equivalent to 2 months. That gives us $300. So we profited $300. Now we're going to take our original principal of $200 and we're going to add it to the $300, which gives us a total of $500. But wait, we're not done. All right, so let's just say that was that. Let's look at another example. So let's just say you took this out and whatever, you just played with this money or whatever, or you used it for bills, right? You like, hey, I'm gonna use this extra $500 I took now, and I'm gonna use it for bills. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you what it'll be like if you didn't touch your money. All right. So let's say that you took that same $500, or even money that you take, you take $500 from your actual income tax. Right? Because everybody's getting ready to get paid their income taxes this year, right? And I suggest to everybody, instead of going out and be like, ooh, I'm about to go floss. I'm about to go buy these big extravagant dinners. I'm about to go get some Gucci. I'm about to go get my hair done, my nails done. And I'm about to go on, all this stuff. I suggest, I'm not saying that you can't do it. Hear me now. You can do that. But what I will say is take a percentage. If you could take anywhere between $500 and $2,000 out of your income tax and use it to invest, you'll be sitting there saying, thank you, Lord, that I listened to that crazy girl online and I actually invested my money instead of going out and blowing all my money. I only blew part of my money, but now I have all this other money back. So that's all I'm saying. So hear me. Please hear me. So anyway, this is my second example. So let's say you have $500, okay? If you have $500, you're going to multiply that by 3.5%. That's going to be the interest rate for that, all right? And that's going to give you $17.50 per day. Now you have $17.50 per day. You're going to multiply that by 91 days. That gives you $1,592.50. Now you're going to add the $1,592.50 plus the 500, and that's going to equal out to be $2,092. All right, which is great. So in 3 months, you made $2,092 just based off your $500 investment. Now let's say that you don't touch that money. Let's say, you know what? I'm gonna keep flipping this money. You flip that money. You take that $2,092.50 times now your new interest rate, because you're in a higher tax bracket now, is going to be 5.5%. So now you're not making $17.50 a day. You're making $115 a day, $115.09. So then you're going to take that amount of money and you're going to multiply that by 152 days, which is equivalent to 5 months. And now you have profited $17,493.68. Wow. I know it blows my mind every time I think about it. So you have that amount, right? And then you add the $2,092.50 to that. So now your total amount of money that you have is $19,585.68. And I love it. So you don't just get your profit back. The company is actually giving you your initial investment back as well. Whew. Man, ain't that something? So you get both of them back? Yes, you get both of them back. Amazing. So let's say we're going to flip it again. All right. So in 8 months, we done made $19,585.68. Now let's say right now, like I said, we flip it again. We take that $19,585.68 and we're going to multiply it again by 5.5%. Now we are making $1,077.22 a day. Most of us make that in our check every 2 weeks, not even weekly, every 2 weeks. Can you imagine making that a day? Man, what could you do with that in one day? You know what I mean? So now you have $1,077.22. You multiply that by 152 days, which is 5 months. All right. So now how much have you accumulated? How you profited? You have $163,737.44 that you profited. Plus you add the what? The $19,585.68 to that. And altogether, you have accumulated $183,323.12. And this is just in 13 months. 13 months you made this kind of money. If you do not touch your money, you just keep flipping your money. And all right, we're going to flip our money one more time. All right, I hope y'all ready for this, because this one right here, woo, this is right here. This is the one that blew my mind. All right. So let's say we take the $183,323.12 and we multiply that by the 5.5% interest rate. Now we're making $10,082.77 per day. We're making it per day, guys. We're not like listen, most people in in network marketing places are getting paid this kind of money on a monthly basis, not a daily basis. You're making this on a daily basis. And you ain't did what? You ain't had no side hustle. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have to go work no second job for it. You didn't have to do none of that. All you had to do was just invest your money into an income producing asset, which is right here, which we're talking about, this compounding interest investment. And you made that. All right. So anyways, so you're going to take that $10,082.77. You're going to multiply that by 152 days. So now that gives you profit $1,532,581.04 in just 5 months, y'all. So then on top of that, we get to add the $183,323.12 to our million. So now we literally have $1,715,904.16. What? And you made that in 18 months? You were able to make that kind of money in 18 months? More than your job? More than your side hustle? Come on now. And I know everybody's probably sitting there like, Brie, this can't be real. No, this is legit. Yep. All right, we're going to look at another example, because I'm about to blow your mind even further. All right. So let's say, okay, that with our income taxes, we're going to take $1,000, just $1,000, okay, and we're going to invest that. Okay, we're not going to do the 500, but let's say if that's all you can start with is 500, I say start somewhere. All right, but if you could do $1,000 when you get your income tax, and you can multiply that by 5.5, you're going to multiply that by 5.5%. That's going to give us $55 per day. Now that we have $55 per day, we're going to multiply that by 152 days. And that's going to give us $8,360 that we accumulated, right, or profited in 152 days, which is equivalent to what? 5 months. So now we have that much, and then we add that to our original $1,000 investment. Now we have $9,360 for the total amount of money we have in our investment. Now, because we're going to be smart about this, we're not going to touch our money. We're going to flip our money. So we flip it. We take $9,360. We multiply that by 5.5%. Now we're making $514.80 per day. Come on now, y'all. Most people make that. If they work at the grocery store, they might make that every Friday. This is something you make in a day. A day, y'all. A day. Come on now. This more money you making on your job. More money. Come on now. Anyway, so now you take that. You take $514.80 and you multiply that by 152 days. Now that's going to be equivalent, or not equivalent. Now you're going to make $78,249.60 after 152 days, which is equivalent to 5 months. So now we made $78,000, right? $78,249.60 in 5 months. Then, of course, we're going to add that to our original investment of $9,360. So now in 10 months' time, you done accumulated $87,609.60. Come on now, y'all. Come on now, y'all. I know y'all sitting there like, Bree, you got to be kidding me, man. These ain't real numbers, but I'm telling you. It's real. All right, y'all. So let's go. Let's keep going. So let's say, because I know at this time, people going to be tempted to touch their money. They're going to be like, oh, man, whatever. I'm going to touch my money. I'm going to touch my money now because I want my money now. But nah, if you could just hold out a little bit more for me. Just hold out a little bit more. If you take that $87,609.60 and you multiply that by 5.5%, now you have accumulated on a daily basis, you are making $4,818.50 per day. Come on now, y'all. Like, per day. I mean, I'm praying people ain't really spending this in a week. Unless you're doing stupid stuff, you know, I ain't talking about like celebrities. I'm talking about we regular folks. So we still need to live below our means. But I'm just saying, like, if you had that you were making that per day, like, you should be straight. It should be nothing that you should be ever worrying about, right? So you're making this per day and you multiply that by 152 days. You know how much you made? You profited. You made $732,416.56 in 5 months. So, like, can you? This is what you profited. And then you're going to add on to it your initial investment of the $87,609.60. So that's going to give you a total of $820,026.16 that you made in 15 months. Come on, man. You can't make it. Where else you going to make this kind of money? Where else you going to make this kind of money? I'm just trying to figure it out because I ain't been able to discover it yet besides this. And I'm giving you the game. I'm dropping the knowledge on you tonight. All right. So now you take the 800,000, okay, the 820,000 at $26.16. Now you multiply that by 5.5%, y'all. You know how much you're making now on a daily basis? You are making $45,101.44 a day. Come on now. And you ain't got to worry. Like this ain't something you got to worry no more. Then you take that amount of money and you multiply that by 152 days. You know how much you made? You profited $6,855,418.88. Then, of course, you're going to add that to the original principal of $820,026.60. And you're going to add that to the $6 million. And now you add $7,675,000 and $445,445.04. Come on now. So you can make that in 20 months. That means you can be a millionaire in 20 months. It's really possible. I ain't got to wait listen. And me and my husband, we're doing both right now. Like I said, we have one account. That's the 3% account with one company that pays us weekly. And we're like, all right, we know in 5 years, we're going to be at $1 million. We know in 10 years, we're going to be at $1 billion. And then right here, like I said, we've been doing the math. We've been keeping up with the calculations. So we know in 20 months, we can be millionaires. So now we done figured out a way to bypass the system. Can you imagine what you could do with your business? Could you imagine what you could do with your family? Can you imagine how your life would be? Like, listen, like, if you're a business owner and you're listening to me, man, you don't need to just have this for your personal account. You need to be setting this up for your business. If you're a pastor, you're trying to figure out a way to raise money for the church, and you trying to figure out how to get more ministry funds, this is the way. Set you up an account for everything, for everybody, your kids, everybody. So not everybody pulling on you. You hook up the family. You be like, listen, I got you. You need something? It's coming out of your account because we already set you up an account, baby. That's your money. You ain't touching our money. You see what I'm saying? Everybody can win. Everybody can eat off the same table based off this method alone. All right. And like I said, y'all, was going to actually show y'all receipts because I know some people are like, whatever. Because that's how my husband is. He like, until I see proof of stuff, I ain't doing nothing. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. All right, y'all. So I'm so sorry that y'all cannot see the numbers and stuff, y'all. I'm sorry it's very small. But me and my husband invested back in February of 2022. We invested $540 for my actual income tax, like I told y'all. And in December, we ended up making $3,125. And so I know you guys can't really see it because this is small print, but right here it shows you where we started, which was 223, right? And for 540, and then each of these lines represents how much we were making weekly. All right. I know up here is April 23rd, and I think this said like $796 and something cents that we actually accumulated. All right, right there. But as you can see, each one of these, like I said, I know you can't really see, but as much as you can see, each one of these lines represents how much me and my husband actually accumulated every week, because we get paid every Friday. Every Friday is payday for us. Hey, we like, oh, we get paid from our income producing asset. We got paid from our passive income, right? Literally. So, once again, here's some more of my results. Once again, guys, I'm so sorry the print's small, but I just kind of wanted you guys to get the glimpse at the fact that this is stuff that from the entire year that we have been accumulating up in there. All right. Now, this next one we're getting ready to look at, this is the daily compound interest results. And like I said, I wanted to test this to make sure this is legit because I was not going to put a whole bunch of money in something that was not real. Okay. Or even tell you guys about it, okay? But so as you can see on the left, I invested $102.50, okay? You can see on the right is another investment of $100. That's when I started to see it was real. I went ahead and invested another $100, okay? And so the breakdown of that is, okay, so this lets you know I put my money in on December 10th, all right? And it says on February 8th, I'm actually going to be paid out my money. This is going to be the initial investment, all right? So right here is showing the interest rate of 2.5%. Right now, it's showing my profit. It's saying the profit I'm going to make from this actual investment is going to be $153.75. And this is how much money I've accumulated thus far, which is $84.81. Now, as you can see on the right, same thing, same numbers, but it's different. Right here, you can see on the 7th, this is the one I originally did. And then this is actually going to come back to me on February 5th. And so once again, still 2.5% because that's the interest rate that they've given us for this particular amount of money. And right here is showing that I'm going to make a profit of $150. And currently I have made $90, right? So altogether by mid-February, so in 1 month, I'm going to make $506.25. You see what I'm saying? So if I keep flipping this money and not touch it, like we said, and not touch this money, then in the next, what did I say? Like 18 or 15, let's say 15 to 20 months, we can be millionaires. Isn't that fascinating? Now, I ain't going to guarantee that everybody's going to be a millionaire. Because first off, there's different factors. There's going to be some people that's going to just pull their money out right away because they're going to be like, I need it. Instead of sitting there saying, you know what, let me save let me get my money up so then I can start doing what I need to do. I'm just going to be real. That's going to be some people's thing, right? But this is a possibility if this is something that you want. Now, if you're okay with living paycheck to paycheck, you okay with living below your means, you okay still living in poverty and struggling and having to work 2 jobs and trying to hustle and do X, Y, and Z, then by all means. But if you are honestly ready to change your life, right? You're ready to change your life. You want to see a different outcome. I honestly suggest that you follow this BSI method. And what do we learn BSI was? Creating our budget, looking over our expenses first. We gotta know what's coming in and what's going out. We need to be saving. What do we need to be saving for? We need to be saving for what? Emergencies, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. You need to be saving for short-term goals. All right. And you also need to be saving for long-term goals, but that's not going to be in our bank account. The first 2 are in our bank accounts. The other one, the long-term goals, is not. That's going to be what? Our variable accounts or our index accounts, but it's not going to be in the bank. It's not going to be a fixed account. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to invest in income-producing assets. You guys don't have to use the compounding interest investment if you don't want to. Like I said, look into Toro. If you have an extra vehicle or you barely use your car, man, go make you some money on somebody renting out your car, literally, and follow the steps. Look into dividend earning stocks, but I do suggest that you do your due diligence on that. Just like I suggest that you do your due diligence on real estate and everything actually I've said, but you definitely want to do your due diligence on that so you're not wasting money into something that you're just throwing money away. All right. Me, right now, I'm definitely going to continue to use this compound interest investment strategy because this is what is helping me and my husband to build wealth at an accelerated rate. All right. And if you are interested and you would love to learn more, if you need help and you want somebody to look over your expenses and actually help you to create a budget / spending plan, if you need someone to help you assist with coming up with a plan to get out of debt, right? If you are interested in learning more about life insurance and annuities to build build yourself wealth, right? Even rolling your 401k over into an annuity plan and build wealth, let me know. And if you're really interested, like I said, in this income producing asset called compound interest investments, let me know. I'm here to help you. I would love to have a free consultation with you, right? You could DM me, you can text me, you can call me. My business phone number is 540-300-2564. And let's get you scheduled for a consultation. Let me see how I can help you. Because even if I can't help you, there might be somebody else that can help you. All right. I want to make sure that you are getting the best, the very best. All right. And so that's my plan for you guys. I pray that you guys enjoyed tonight. I pray that you learned something. Like I said, remember, keep this BSI method in your mind. Keep that in your mind. And like I said, if you're looking and you want to learn more about insurance, you want to learn more about annuities, if you want to learn more about this compound interest investment, right? And and when you actually sit down with a private consultation, we can go a little bit deeper into it. And if you want to work with me, I will help you get set up with the accounts that I'm set up with, and we'll go from there. All right. All right, guys. Well, as always, be blessed. And until next time, I'll see you later. And if you would like to connect with me, you could do that also via email at Bree at BreeSmithFinancial.com. You can also check out my website, which is BreeSmithFinancial.com. All right. I also have a new Facebook page, which is Bree Smith Financial Group. I also have a YouTube page, and you can connect with us on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. All right, guys, be blessed.